Hi everyone, welcome back. Today let's discuss about arithmetic progression. So to understand arithmetic progression, we should know about our sequence, progression, then we'll go to arithmetic progression. What is a sequence? A sequence is a group of numbers arranged in a definite order following certain rule. Look at the set of numbers given here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. So this is an example of a sequence. Here each number is 2 more than its preceding number. That's a rule we have used here. So this is an example of a sequence. When we speak about progression, progression is a sequence whose each term is related to its predecessor or successor by a uniform law. That is a progression. So when we speak about arithmetic progression, this is a sequence of numbers in which each term can be obtained by adding a certain quantity to its preceding term. Look at this. This is an example of an AP. So each term of this AP can be obtained by adding a certain quantity to its preceding number. See, if you consider the number 4, the 4 is obtained by adding 2 to the preceding term. The preceding term is also 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. And here if you see this 6. 6 is a number that can be obtained by 2 to the preceding term. So if you see all these terms here, these are obtained by adding certain number to its previous or preceding term. This is an example of an AP. Now if you consider one more example, 5, 10, 15, etc. This is also an example of an AP, arithmetic progression. Arithmetic progression, in short, we call it as AP. So here also the 10 is obtained by adding 5 to the previous term. 15 is obtained by adding 5 to the previous term. So here also we are obtaining the terms by adding a certain quantity to its preceding term. Consider these examples. The first one is 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. This is an example of an arithmetic progression. Here, the succeeding term is obtained by adding a constant number to the preceding term. If you consider the first example, if you look at the first example, see, you are adding 3 to the preceding term to get the next term. If you are adding 3 to 3, you get 6. 6 to 3, you get 9. 9 to 3, you get 12, and so on. This is an example of an AP. Now, if you consider this example, here 10, 8, 6, 4, etc. So, here also if you see this, we are adding a constant number to the preceding term. So, what number we are adding here? We are adding minus 2 to each term. Minus 2. 10 plus minus 2, that is 8. 8 plus minus 2, that is 6. 6 plus minus 2 is 4, and so on. So here we are adding with a negative number, and here we are adding with a positive number. When you are adding a positive number, your sequence will be an increasing sequence. And when you are adding a negative number to a sequence, your sequence will be a decreasing sequence. Now here if you consider the first example, the first term of this sequence, that is represented as A, and that is equal to 3. The first term of the sequence is 3, and the number, what number we are adding to the preceding term to get the next number, and that is called as the common difference. Common difference, and it is represented by D. D is the common difference and A is the first term, and the terms can be represented as T1, T2, T3, etc. T1 is same as A itself. The first letter of the arithmetic progression is always represented by small letter A, and the common difference is represented by small letter D. And each terms of the arithmetic progressions can be represented by using the letters T1, T2, T3, etc. and so on. Now, if you consider the second example, common difference is minus 2. And always remember, the common difference can be obtained by taking the difference between any two consecutive terms. That is T2 minus T1 or T3 minus T2 or T4 minus T3 by the difference between the consecutive terms. That is, always subtract from the successor T2 minus T1 or T3 minus T2 or T4 minus T3. This is how you can find the common difference. You need not find all these differences. Since it's a common difference, it remains same in all the cases. So you can take any two consecutive terms and find the difference. You will be getting the common difference. And here if you see 6 minus 3 is 3 or 12 minus 9 is 3. In the second case, if you see 8 minus 10 is minus 2 or 4 minus 6 is minus 2. This is how we can find the common difference. Now, let's find the general term. That's the nth term of the arithmetic progression. How to find it? Consider this AP. This is a sequence. This is an example of an AP. And here, each term, it is each element of the AP is 5, 7, 9, 11, etc. And the first term of the AP is A, that is equal to 5. And the common difference D is equal to T2 minus T1. And that is equal to 7 minus 5 is 2. So the common difference is 2 and the first term is 5. So by using this, we can find the nth term of the AP. Nth term or general term, and this nth term can be represented by Tn. The first term is T1 and T1 is equal to A itself. And when you are finding T2, what you need to do? You need to add D to the first term. That is A plus D. A plus D is the second term. When you are finding the third term T3, you need to add D to the second term. You need to add D to the second term to get the third term. So we write this as A plus D, that is second term, plus D. And that is equal to A plus 2D. Right? Now when you are finding T4, you are adding D to the third term. So when you are adding D to the third term, it becomes A plus 3D. So that is A plus 3D. And if you are finding T5, the fifth term, you have to find A plus 4D. This is how we keep on finding the terms of the AP. Now here, in this case, we can write this as A plus D. A plus D is A plus 2 minus 1 into D. And that is same as A plus D, right? See, second term, 2 minus 1 into D. When you are finding the third term, A plus 2D, we write this as A plus 3 minus 1 into D. Look at that third term when you are finding. Here the term should be 3 minus 1. So in the same way, when you are finding T4, you can write this as A plus 4 minus 1 into D. 4 minus 1 is 3D. 3D only you are getting here. If you are finding the fifth term, you can write this as A plus 5 minus 1 into D, because A plus 4D is A plus 5 minus 1 into D. In the same way, if you find T10, see, T2 was A plus 2 minus 1 into D, T3 was A plus 3 minus 1 into D, T4 was A plus 4 minus 1 into D, and T5 was A plus 5 minus 1 into D. In the same way, when you are finding the 10th term, this will be A plus 10 minus 1 into D. So what's the value we are writing? From there we are subtracting 1 and multiply that many common differences we are adding to it. So in the same way, if you write, you can say that Tn is equal to, if it was T10, this was A plus 10 minus 1 into D. So if it is Tn, it will be A plus n minus 1 into D. So the n, in the place of 10, here we have n. So in the place of 10, here also we have to write n. So the general term of the AP, that can be represented by Tn, that's nth term, and that is same as A plus n minus 1 into D. This is the formula to find the nth term of the AP, or this is the general term of the AP. The nth term of the AP can be found out by using the formula Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. Let's verify this with the given arithmetic progression. So here the first term is given as 5 and the common difference is 2. We have already found in the previous case. Okay, now let's see that if you need to find T3, the third term, we can write this as A plus 2D or A plus 3 minus 1 into D. And what is A here? A is 5 plus 2 into D is 2. So 5 plus 4. And we are getting the third term as 9. Look at that. first, second, third term is 9 here also. So if you are finding the sixth term, T6, if you are finding n is equal to 6, right? So your formula, you can apply in your formula. You will get this as a plus 6 minus 1 into d, and that is same as a plus 5d. And what is a? A is 5 there. 5 plus 5 into 2. So this will become 5 plus 10, that is equal to 15, and that is your sixth term. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the sixth term we are getting 15. By using the formula also we are getting the same thing. Consider these two questions. Let's check it out whether they are AP. If they are AP, then what's the first term and the common difference. Have to check whether it is an AP or not. So the succeeding term should be obtained by adding a certain number to the preceding term. So let's verify it. That means the common difference, the difference between each term, consecutive term should be same. Let's check it out. So it's 2, 6, 10, 14. So T2 minus T1, if you're finding 6 minus 2, that is equal to 4. If you're finding T3 minus T2, you're getting 10 minus 6, and that is equal to 4. If you're finding T4 minus T3, the difference is 14 minus 10. Again, that is equal to 4. So, in all the cases, you are getting the same number, a constant number as the difference. So, we can say that this is an example of an AP, and the first term is 2 and the common difference is 4. Now, consider the second question. Here, T2 minus T1, if you are finding 9 minus 5, and that is equal to 4. T3 minus T2, when you are finding 12 minus 9, it is 3. And T4 minus T3, if you are finding 18 minus 12, and that is same as 6. So here we are getting different numbers as the difference between the consecutive numbers. Therefore, what we can say, this is not an example of an AP. Consider this question. Here the AP is given as 12, 10, 8, 6, etc. We need to find the 24th term, that is T24 we need to find. And we have to write the first term, A is equal to 12, and the common difference T2 minus T1, and that is 10 minus 12, that is equal to minus 2. And now let's find the 24th term. To find the 24th term, we have the nth term of the AP. What is the nth term? Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. And here we need to find 24, T24. So n will be 24. Wherever n is there, you need to substitute that as 24. A plus 24 minus 1 into D. And that is equal to A plus 23 D. When you substitute the values, we'll get this as A is 12 plus 23 into D is minus 2. So that's equal to 12 plus into minus is minus 46. So when you are subtracting this, 46 minus 12 is 34 and greater number is 46. Therefore, give the sign of the greater number. This will be minus 34, and this is your 24th term. Now, you have to solve these questions and find the answer. The first one is 4, 11, 18, 25, etc. is an arithmetic progression. Find the 25th term. In the second one, 1, minus 2, minus 5, minus 8, etc. You have to find the 12th term of the AP. That's all for today. We'll meet in the next class with more sums on arithmetic progression. Thank you.